Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Getcha Popcorn Ready podcast, where we've been popping. I'm your host, Hatch, with my boy.
Yep, this is T.O. I'm in the house today.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited. I don't get excited about too many things, right?
Oh, yeah, let me guess. Two things. New Edition
and Entourage, right? That's what I get. That's my stuff, right? But today, coming the creator and the director and writer, of course, from Entourage, Doug Ellin, is coming up and Getcha Popcorn Ready podcast.
Yeah, I don't really know him like that.
Well, you go get to know him today.
But I'm familiar with Entourage. Haven't really seen a lot of episodes of it.
I've seen everyone.
Kind of ticked a little bit because I should have been in Entourage. First of all,
yeah, you were busy. You're a little busy.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I was.
You're a little busy.
Yeah, I was, doing Desperate Housewives skits for our Monday night opener.
Oh, yeah, that was horrible.
In Philly.
Maybe that's why you weren't on Entourage, because they seen that skit from the Desperate Housewives and like, we don't want him.
Well, you can't blame the actor, blame the writer.
Ooh.
I'm just recreating the content. You know what I mean?
Interesting. Don't blame the actor, blame the writer.
Yeah, right.
But it's also a poor musician who blames his instrument. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Get your popcorn ready podcast. Coming up next, Doug Ellin. Welcome to Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast. It's your host, Hatch, with my boy.
Right here, the other host, T.O. We are in the house today, baby.
In the building. Mm-hmm. And again, so world, just so you guys understand who I am as a person, right? There's only two things that I get excited about, right? That's New Edition and the TV show Entourage. And today, in the building, we have Doug Ellin, the creator and director of Entourage. Thanks for coming, brother.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think are we gonna edit in some crowd noise? Can we get some, that would be great.
I would love some crowd noise. I've never experienced that, sadly, but
right.
And I'm going sunglasses because T.O. looks so good in his, and I feel like,
this guy should be here every week, guys.
Hey,
every week.
He's trying to cover up his face though. He's got some deformities all up in here, so that's why he's trying. No, we appreciate you taking the time out though, man.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
So again, you have your podcast, Victory Podcast out now,
Victory
right?
the podcast, and I got this one too, Hollywood Ways. You guys got to check
Hollywood Ways,
Yeah.
okay.
So which one is doing better?
Well, Hollywood Ways just started.
Okay.
Doing off to a great start. I'm doing it with Breezy from All American and Empire.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Victor the podcast is doing unbelievable. We're almost at, I think, 10 million downloads. We've been about 15 months, and we're doing live shows now across the country, which is weird.
I like the branding, Hollywood Ways. I like it.
I'm trying.
Walking billboard right
the
there.
genius. He's a creative genius.
This is what I'm
right?
a walking billboard, guys. This is why.
This is what I did on Entourage. I market all day and grind, and the fact that you guys know that I can now do a podcast where I don't have to write and I can kind of just sit back and talk. It's really nice.
Yeah.
So.
And well, again, let's start it out from the 2004 when Entourage first came out.
Yeah.
Again, I don't toot this guy's horn too much. I like to keep him humble. But 2004, and then you guys were done in 2011, right?
You know what? I don't know. I thought maybe.
Around
we did the movie
there.
in 15, 16.
Right. But during that time, I thought that T.O. was one of the biggest names in the world. Why was he never on the show? I mean, I know he can't act, so that's one reason. But he can. No, I'm having a conversation right now.
Wait a minute. Did you say cannot or can act?
I'm gonna let you figure it out. But anyway.
Simple answer is he didn't call me. Because honestly, that's almost all the athletes that were on the show asked me to be on. And I love athletes. I love guys who are at get to the highest level of whatever they're doing. And so any of them who ever called LeBron, et cetera, we put them on.
I was at the height of my career.
We would have enjoyed a second.
I had a lot of calls coming in.
You know what? That's my bad. I should have called. I should have called.
That first of all, what kind of friend is he?
You know what I'm saying? That's my bad. I'm going to take it. My bad, world.
To be honest with you, first year we couldn't get anybody,
Right.
And Lamar Odom was awesome enough to come on when nobody would come on. But then people started calling us, and I'd be like, we actually got some slack about it. Well, how many people are you going to put on the show? But I love that because, and that's also, the show is loosely inspired on Wahlberg's life. And I'd go to Wahlberg's house and Kevin Durant's sitting there, just randomly on a Tuesday. So I try to make it as real as possible and bring those guys on. So we had a lot of cool athletes, Phil Mickelson and Tom Brady.
All of them. Is that the end of Entourage?
I really think it's there's going to be a reboot. Now, I'm not pushing for it because, as I just said, the idea of sitting down and writing anymore is not as exciting to me as it was when I was a little younger.
What about
Right.
the writing of the checks?
If they write a nice check, you can't say no. But also with this podcast, which I'm doing with two of the guys from Entourage, we're having such a good time, and everybody seems to want it back. So if HBO called, I'm not against it like I was a year and a half ago.
So again, you're waiting on the call. This guy waits on the call.
You know what? I wait on
he
the
gets
calls for
calls.
things like that because I hate writing. But
Yeah.
for other things, when I'm trying to get things done, I make the calls. But
And just so you guys know out there, right, in the world, right, it's a good time in your life when you're just waiting on calls.
Exactly. I was just about
That's
to
where
say-
you want to get in life. You don't want to be the one trying to call people all the time and they don't call you back or maybe set the meeting 3 months out, that type of deal.
I'm just sitting here thinking, I'm like, man, that must be the life to have. Just
Yeah.
sitting around,
Waiting on a...
creating podcast shows, waiting on the call.
Absolutely.
Look, obviously you have to grind, and I do it in the podcast world now.
Yep.
And it's not the kind of money you can make if you have a hit TV show, but I enjoy it a lot more. So I'm grinding now. Which you guys are gonna have to come on, but I have to get people as guests for that podcast, which is always a challenge. And we've had some awesome people. We had DK Metcalf on, and Andrew Whitworth, and Mark Cuban, Julius Randle. So, but we gotta chase them. And then we go back to, like, I have friends who don't call me back. Russell Wilson was my friend for a decade. I called him to be on the podcast.
Call
He
you
doesn't
back.
call me back.
There you go. Maybe Sierra didn't let him, call you back. You know what I'm
Maybe
saying?
she didn't like the podcast. Who
So,
knows?
but it looks like you've been grinding. So I know for a minute, of course, people see the success and think it's overnight, all that stuff. But I looked at a clip from 1991.
Oh, man.
And I think you made this remark. Tell me if it's true or not. You were the first Nike athlete that was signed to not wear their clothes for $1,000, right? Did you make that
In
joke?
1991?
1991. You did stand up. I saw a stand-up comedy act.
And I've been trying to bury any stand-up tapes I've had for years. Where did you even find that?
It's all that internet is powerful, man.
Doug, so you've been popping. You've been
Been
popping.
popping.
Oh, wow, now.
I've been around for a long time.
I was a junior in high school.
Oh, my God. That's
There it
depressing.
is.
91.
It's depressing.
Wow.
I came out here in 90. I went to Tulane. I came out here and I
Right.
started doing stand-up comedy. I didn't know a single person in LA and just started
Now,
grinding
why
away.
comedy, though?
You know what? I just loved comedy growing up. I loved movies, and I really didn't know what the in was. So I was working in the mailroom at New Line Cinema, and I don't know. I just thought I could be funny on stage, which don't
You
look
know
at those
him.
tapes.
You know him better than I do. So, damn, is he funny?
The 1991 funny was probably his least funny.
I was, what's weird is because I think you saw the same thing. Someone sent me a tape of me doing stand-up, which I didn't even know if they existed.
Of course, right.
And I still, which I'm happy to have, I still have like my New York sort of accent.
Yep.
But that one back then, I just sound like a Long Island jerk off. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, I didn't realize I had such a heavy accent. But, stand-up comedy is something, you guys know football, you really got to work at it. So
Yes.
I did it for
Yes.
only 6 months. It wasn't that it went bad, but I raised money for the first short film I did doing stand-up. And
Nice.
Wow.
that got me into the American Film Institute. And then I know we talked about it earlier. That got me offered the movie Fat Beach.
Yep,
I was 22 years old and
Yeah.
got a call from some producers like, I saw your short film and I want you to make this movie, Fat Beach, which 25 years later still rolling on Showtime.
Still going.
Cats don't get any ideas that you can go try to do stand-up to raise money.
You know what?
Because you're going to be
You
waiting
know
a
what?
long
I can do stand up.
You're gonna be waiting-
I'm scared to do it.
You're gonna be waiting a
If
long-
I'm
first of all,
scared of
you're
one
gonna
thing,
be
I'm scared to do it.
waiting a long time.
To do it? I can
mean,
go
no,
do it
not
tomorrow.
To do it. I'm just saying to raise money for a film. 'Cause ain't nobody coming to see it.
Hey, that's okay.
It's really, it is, a big part of it is getting past that fear, which I actually never broke through to that place. It used to be so much anxiety. I could get hammered before I
Right.
got on stage. And
I think that would
So
help.
explain it, because we had Ryan Davis on a few weeks back.
A couple other comedians like
Yeah.
Bill Bellamy's been on, Cedric the Entertainer.
Yeah. Explain this anxiety, because a lot of people, obviously they're hearing you say it, they can't feel it. What is this anxiety like being on stage? And again, you have to be confronted with obviously the number one, the audience. Obviously, you're trying to get, trying to deliver your line, get some feedback, some laughs. What is that like?
You know what? I can't explain it because I'm not like an anxious person, and I'm not like while I'm sitting with athletes. I know I'm not an athlete, but I'm like the type of athlete when I played sports in my level. Where I felt like I wanted the ball, I wanted to be on the foul line, I wanted to be here. But stand up, you're just up there, and they know your purpose is to try to make them laugh.
Yes.
So their first instinct is like, okay, tough guy, let's see what you got.
Right.
Yeah.
And that, it just, I don't know, it would overwhelm me. And actually, I did okay. I mean, forgetting whatever that tape was, I did okay. I hadn't obviously raised this money for this film, but the anxiety level is just, it's terrifying. You're looking at people and you can feel it when they don't laugh. And I think, you know, Seinfeld did that awesome documentary about stand-up comedy. And you really, if you want to do it, you got to break through past that time where the audience really doesn't matter. You're doing your show and that's it. But I never got to that place.
So, did you have like a go-to joke?
I'm not doing jokes. There's no way I'm doing jokes.
What, I mean, is there anything, is there like a go-to like that of material that you had to go to when things just aren't going your way? Is that when the anxiety sets in? Okay, you've been up there 15, 20 minutes and you're not.
The anxiety sets in the first time, like, and I have been up there, big laughs, and then all of a sudden crickets.
Right.
That's
But it's
when
the
the
same
anxiety
joke.
sets in.
Right,
Like
so-
you're all gone once that happens. It's like,
Right, so is there, what do you do in that moment?
well, I'll tell you, one of the worst moments of my life and career, I was doing okay. Like I said, I raised this money and I'm making short films and going. So I went to New York and I got pretty cocky. I have a nice little friend group in New York. I brought like 300 people to a stand-up place. My parents, their friends, all the people I grew up with. And I went out and these professional comedians were there and my name was on the marquee. And they're like, who the fuck
You're
is
the
this
big guy.
What is he
You're the
doing
big
here?
no-name guy.
So every guy that was coming up there, and there were some big comedians, I'm forgetting who, but they were all, who's this Doug Ellin? What's he doing? So the anxiety was just building. And I got up and I said one joke in front of everyone I know, and there was silence, and I said, thank you, good night. And
I'm out.
I walked off, and I was
out.
I was 21, 22.
Wow.
My father's best friend called me the next day and said, I'm killing my parents, and
You're embarrassing the family. What are you doing over here?
whatever I think I'm doing in Hollywood is a ridiculous waste of time. And, you know, because as I said, I mean, my father's a lawyer, my brother's a lawyer. I was in Tulane on my way to law school, and I called my parents. I'm like, I'm going to go to LA and do stand-up comedy.
They don't want to hear that, right?
Like, what are you?
Yeah, Dougie, get on. Hey, talk to your son. Talk to your son.
So, but you know, that's what happened, and I never went back to stand up again. So yeah.
That's great. But going through that process, of course, you know, created the habit or the thick skin, if you will, to be in this industry. Because you're gonna have to go through something like that to be where you are.
Yeah,
today.
I mean, rejection is a constant, nonstop thing in this business, you know,
absolutely.
and even to this day. So you have to get that, but it's a different kind of rejection,
Yeah.
and it's a different kind of, especially when you got, you know, you got slight anger issues. You want to kill the audience when they don't laugh
Of
or whatever you
course.
say.
Like, don't
you
you
know?
hear that? That's funny.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. So-
But so there was a scene in Entourage where Johnny Chase was auditioning.
Yeah.
Right? So now you kind of know both sides of the trying to, you know, make somebody laugh or impress somebody in an audition and sit there and also be the producer.
Yeah.
So the Johnny Chase, did that come from a real
100%.
So
yeah.
you've seen the guys, and the guy behind you was, you know, on texting. He's like, "Hey, I'm trying to work here," type of deal.
Yeah, I was in that scene, by the way. I was.
Yeah,
acting
I
as
remember,
that.
yeah, you were right in
but
front.
I mean, that scene came from, you know, when I was doing stand-up, which it all seems like this weird blur, 1990. But some woman came up to me when I was at this place called the Ice House, and she's like, "You're a genius. You're gonna be this. You're gonna be that." And I was going to New Orleans the next day, and I called my parents. I'm like, "I made it. I'm gonna be a star and this
I'm
and
on
that."
the way.
And I called this woman the next day from New Orleans, you know, which at the time is like a pay phone with change and shit.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
"Hey,
yeah.
it's me, the star." And she was like, "I was on a lot of drugs last night. I don't remember you at all."
Don't
okay?
even know who you are.
And
Wow.
that was literally the thing. And she's like, "But I feel bad, so come in and see me, you know, when you're back in town." So I went to see her, and she's like, "I got an audition for you. You're perfect for it." I've never acted. Like,
Right.
I've never done any of this stuff. But I go into this audition, and every guy there, which I did this exact scene in Entourage, everyone looked like Brad Pitt.
Everybody
except me.
looks the same.
Everybody,
Right.
okay?
That's
and I'm like
funny.
in there, and I walk into this audition, and there's like I'm talking to two people, one here and one here, girls, and one of them gets up and a guy sits down while I'm over here and I'm supposed to say whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
And she literally goes, everybody but you stay. And I was like, and I swore I would never try to act again or audition.
Done.
But so that was.
But again, that's a real story. That's a real. Right. You recovered from it, fine, obviously, but that's going to happen to 99. It still hurt, but that's going to happen to 99.9% of people who are in the business of entertainment. That's just part of it.
Yeah, I mean, the people that can really go at it and with confidence, you know, when you really have your craft right, you know, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing anyway. So, but you know, it's a tough grind, and you have to be willing to have that thick skin and just keep going no matter what.
Let me ask you this. So, right, hottest show in the world, everybody's calling you to be on the show, right? Who were you surprised that came in and auditioned for Entourage? You're like, because you used to be big, or I thought you were a big enough name that you didn't even audition anymore. Like people like Will Smith doesn't audition. Like me, Will, right, Don Cheadle, we don't audition, just so you guys know that out there.
Right.
But like, who are you like surprised? Like they're auditioning. What you doing? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
Dude, you and Will, y'all have nothing in common but your forehead. That's it. That's it.
That's funny. That's a good one. That's a good one.
I'm trying to think who auditioned.
Yeah, who auditioned? You were like surprised to even see them.
I don't know if I had anyone surprised. I was surprised that some actors, you know, there was, you know, a great actor named Gary Cole. I don't know if you know him. He's an Emmy winner and he was in Office Space. I mean, he's done 1,000 things. I wrote this part that was for like a very kind of goofy-looking, disheveled, kind of like a Paul Giamatti type. And I got a call that Gary Cole, you know, wants to do it. And Gary Cole's a real handsome, great head of hair guy. I'm like, that's not what I wrote. And they're like, he'll come in, he'll audition for you. And he really is one of the best actors I've ever worked with. He was on West Wing. He's been on a million things. And he came in and just like, I'll read. And I was uncomfortable because I'm like, this guy that I've watched my whole life is going to read these things. He blew me away. I changed the whole thing to make it work for him. But I think a lot of actors, that fear and anxiety, even my successful friends, like auditioning is terrifying to them.
Different.
It's just
so different.
You know? And especially like when you've been on a hit show and then you come off it and they want you to read. That's a tough thing, you know?
Some people feel entitled. Like, yo, I've been there, done that.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't necessarily need to do this. Like, you know, you've seen my work.
Yeah.
Turn on the TV. You see me.
And you know, some things you understand. If you're like, you know, you take someone who's playing a New Yorker and you want them to, you know, whatever, be an Australian or something like that, or change something. I gotta
hear your.
But it's like if they said to you, you know, 15 years ago, we'd like you to come, you know,
come work out. Yeah, you're like, I don't try out.
But the ones that really are confident in it will do it, and they feel great doing it. So I never got to that place. I don't like to audition still or whatever. I don't like the whole idea of when I'm pitching a show. I just don't like tryouts, you know. So
yeah.
But that's the life to have right there. That's
I don't got to do
that. The luxury of
I don't have that life. Like you said before we got on camera, oh, you're flying private. I don't fly private, but I've got enough money that I can live the life that I want to live right now. And and I don't want to. And again, it's not that I don't want to take chances and stuff, but I don't want to deal with a lot of shit anymore. I'm getting old, and I'm just. You know,
well, you created this show, Entourage, of a person who had that life, right? So was there anything that were some of those things like you wishing to be that person?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, from minute one, when Mark brought it to me, I said, I'm just gonna want to watch this show about a guy whose life is perfect, which Mark's pretty much is, you know?
Right.
And Mark, you know, who is a hardworking guy. He works his ass off, always did, but his kind of career just went like this, and it's never stopped. So I used a lot of elements of my life and my ups and downs. I mean, I've made movies that, you know, like Fat Beach, that sold to a studio, and then like, you know, the New York Times said, how the this movie even get in the theater? So I've been up and down, and I almost quit the business several times after making movies, after having kids. So I've seen all that, and I used a lot of that in the show, you know? So to try to, and again, it wasn't a drama, but to try to show some of the things. And really, Johnny Drama was, you know, was the heart of the show, because you saw really what the Hollywood struggle is for most people, you know?
Yeah, for most people. My favorite character was Ari. Like that, to me, that glued everybody together. That was just... Turtle, that was your guy. That's your man's.
You know, it's cool that so many people like different people, and obviously, you know, Jeremy was so brilliant at that part. I just did his podcast the other day, and you know,
tell Jared. I said, "What's up?" I said, "What's up?"
Jeremy.
What's
Tio
up?
says, "What's up?"
What's up?
So the entourage, right? It's based about 4 people, let's say, right? Who would be your athletes? Like, who would be the NFL entourage if you would do a reboot, but it was all athletes? Like, who would be your?
I'm gonna get in trouble when I miss somebody.
Of
but I
course,
mean,
of
Brady's
course.
Vince.
Well, you can put Brady as Vince, of course, right?
Brady's
That's a
Vince,
no-brainer.
but I don't know. I mean, anyone that I would say is drama, I'd be in trouble for. I don't even
Hey,
know.
I got a drama right here. There you go. See, okay, we got Brady, we got drama. Okay.
There we go. I'm in.
You know, I would be Ari for sure.
Why would you be Ari?
Because I want to curse your ass out for not doing something right. Right?
You can't do that anymore, though, right? That's like
true.
illegal now. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Everybody's so sensitive now.
That's what I get all the time.
Yeah,
like,
you
how
can't
Ari
just
can't
curse
talk
me
like that.
out. Then I'll be.
But you would so
Mentally
deserve it.
damaged.
You're already mentally damaged.
No.
Is it right, people? Thank you.
But it's tough to say who these guys would be of those other parts, you know? I don't know.
Right.
Like I mean, the only guy who can come up, and I don't know him that well, but Julian Edelman I could see as like an E. He seems like a guy who would keep shit together, but I don't have anybody who I would say is kind of the driver or the loser brother.
Driver.
I'm already Ari. Shut up.
Shut up. 2 parts. You have 2 parts. 2 checks.
2 checks? Okay, I can play 2 parts. Absolutely. That makes sense.
But you look more like a driver than Ari, though. I'm about to say.
Of course. But so again, talking about you love athletes, like love being around sports, right? Big Giants fan, so you're so disappointed right now as you have been for the last 5 years, 6 years.
Yeah.
You know, so where's your love for the Giants come from? I mean, I played for the Jets. You don't love the Jets, but both in New York. So where'd your love for the Giants come from?
So my love from the Giants came from my brother went to school in Pittsburgh, Carnegie Mellon.
Mm-hmm, yep.
The Giants, I got weird ways of why I like the team, but I was a Rams fan because of this movie called Something for Joey. I don't know if you know what this is. It's a John Cappelletti story. John Cappelletti won the Heisman for Penn State, played for the Rams. His brother Joey died of cancer. It's a very sad movie.
Brian Song-ish type.
Brian Song-ish, and Heaven Can Wait was also like set with the Rams. So I was like this Rams fan. Eric Dickerson, I used to wear his jersey to school.
Okay, he did.
And then I'm in, I guess I'm in 7th or 8th grade, and I'm at the Marriott in Pittsburgh, and I'm playing Asteroids, if you guys even know what that is.
Of course,
you're real young.
Yeah.
And the Giants are there, and they walk in, and I swear, no one believes that this is true, but this guy comes over to me, and maybe this is 86 because he's a rookie, and he's like, "Hey, kid, you mind if I play with you?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah, absolutely.
And he signs the autograph, and it was LT. And
really?
Since then,
Lawrence
I was like,
Taylor, ladies and
the
gentlemen.
Rams are done. Yes, not with Damian Thomason, but I love him too. But yeah, Lawrence Taylor. And since then, I just became like a diehard Giants fan.
That's crazy. Have you ever met LT?
I have met LT.
Well, he wasn't on the show ever,
He was
right?
not on the show, but I met him. He followed me on Twitter, which was like,
right?
He's followed me on Twitter, so I've been a big fan of his. And then I've just been a Giants fan ever since.
That's crazy.
Well,
So
I can tell he didn't probably like me at one point in time.
Who, LT?
No, Doug.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? I hated you.
Because what you did to him, you used to kill
It's so crazy.
New
Like
York?
now, I walk around, or I go to New York, or just anywhere, because there's Giants fans everywhere, and everybody's like, "Man, I hated you." Like they had a name for me. They called me the Giant Killer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I hated you on all
your
teams.
teams,
I mean,
yeah.
literally, I hated you on San Fran,
Cowboys,
I hated you on
right,
the
yeah.
Eagles.
Yeah.
And now, listen,
That's
as I've gotten
funny.
older and, as I got these athletes on the show, I mean, the Patriots, had Gronk on the show, Brady on the show, Edelman. So now I root for the guys that I know and like to do well. It's a little different. I think the world is a little bit like that. I'm not that crazy anymore about it. But still Philly. I mean, they eat horse shit in Philly.
Yeah, the Philly
some weird
fans.
stuff.
Y'all on a different page.
Philly
fans on a
another
different
level,
page.
But I love them though.
I agree.
When they for you, they ride.
Yeah, they ride with you.
boy.
It's a good city. All those East Coast cities are so great, and the rivalries are great. But
So I remember you talking about being a fan, right? You're a huge Andrew Dice Clay fan.
Yeah.
And you used to send some voicemail messages on the
Jesus,
comedy,
you guys
right?
actually do research. I got to show my guys on our podcast
how to do research.
Yeah.
But so to get him, again, full circle, to finally get him on the show, did you make that call? Because
No, he called me. I mean,
So
everybody calls Doug Ellin. That's the name of your next podcast.
not everybody. Look, I tried to get Michael Jordan. I never got a call back. I tried to get Tiger Woods. I never got a call back. But
Hey, y'all can call him. His number is 818-323.
Put it out there.
I don't have a show. If you want to be on a podcast, I can put you on that. But so Dice, my friend Bruce Rubenstein, was managing him, and I was a huge Dice fan always. And he called me up, And he was like, listen, I'm with Dice. He really loves the show. What do you think? I'm like, done. You know, and
Absolutely.
that's how it always worked for me. When I saw someone I liked and they got in front of me, I was like, done. So I built the season around, and Dice was really, I mean, he's a good friend of mine, but he was very gracious in thanking me because he did Woody Allen and Martin Scorsese after that. But the truth is I know how good he was, and he just needed that shot. And sometimes in this town, you disappear for a little while, and people go, oh, maybe he wasn't that good. It's just silly, you know?
Yeah, like me. I disappeared, you know what I mean?
And then now you're back.
I got it, you know what I mean? I just need that shot.
Exactly.
I'm telling you.
You need a shot of
Tina wants to do a movie.
That's
If I ever work in the movie business again, I'm going to find something for you. I know it.
You get a vaccination shot.
We're definitely not going to have that
You
conversation,
get a
world.
vaccine shot.
Well, because I guess that's where you want to be, though. You want to be fulfilling your childhood dreams through your work, getting paid for it, having fun.
Yeah.
Like, that's what Entourage was to me.
Yeah, and that's what it was for me. And that's, I mean, I got to shoot at Yankee Stadium.
Right.
Mark Teixeira got us the stadium, and I brought my kids and all my friends from high school with me, And the podcast is honestly the same thing. We had Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns on 40 years after their fight, which, when I grew up, those guys, both of them, which is weird because usually you have your favorites, but I loved Tommy Hearns, I loved Hagler, and I loved Sugar Ray. I didn't love Durant for whatever reason. But, it's like, and to get them and sit down and just get to talk to these guys is actually even cooler than when they would come on the show. Because when they were on the show, athletes, it was like work. And
business.
doing it like this is now, I just, even sitting with you guys.
Just hanging out.
It's cool.
So it seems like, obviously, Entourage was kind of like, it was like what got you off the ground, in a sense. Obviously, comedy. And Entourage, I was like, like I said, honestly, it's one of his favorite things. In addition to New Edition. You don't want to see him dance.
Yeah, that's next.
So what's next for Doug Ellin? I mean, I know you have the 2 podcasts or what have you. So is that just kind of like what keeps you going? What motivates you?
I mean, I got a couple of shows I'm working on. I'm working on a show with Thierry Henry, who's a, France football star. Soccer, as we call it here.
Football.
And I'm working, I don't know if you know Kate Sowers, who coached in the 49ers in the Super Bowl, first female coach in the 49ers.
Kate, okay,
I got a show I'm working on with her. But to be honest with you, I love this podcast stuff. So it's like the thing, as embarrassing it is, and all my friends left. I loved sports and I loved athletics, but that was not going to get me anywhere. You know what I mean? So writing and directing, it got me where I want to be. But now I'm enjoying talking. So I'm hopefully this can be my next 10 years. And if I do another show, great. If I don't really care. So.
Gotcha. It's like you made a funny joke talking about growing up, like you kind of want to be a professional athlete, but then when you became like mature physically, you figured out you were not going to be a professional athlete, so now you went to own the professional team.
Yeah.
Is that still a dream of yours, maybe?
Yeah, of course everybody has it, and I'm like, I actually played pretty high level. You guys probably don't know this sport, pickleball.
What's that? T, you ever heard of pickleball? I never heard of that.
I've heard of Dylan Pickles.
I've done some damage to Russell Wilson in that sport,
all
Phil
right.
Mickelson, but it's like mini tennis. But I play with some pro tennis players, so I like that. And now they just announced it doing a pro league. A franchise for that is like $100,000. So that's a more realistic goal than owning like the New York Giants or something. So I think that's probably
$100,000, $4.8 billion.
Yeah, I don't think my dream of the Knicks, Giants, New York Islanders is going to come true anytime soon. But
Pickleball. It's
we'll have to get you out there.
Many versions.
He'll play it for sure. He'll play anything.
Table tennis. I mean,
it is tennis meets ping pong. It's like in between.
The in between.
Yeah.
With your pickle head,
And you're nice.
I'm pretty good.
Pretty good at it.
And there's nothing I like more than beating pro athletes.
We know what? We need to set that up then.
I'll send you some videos.
I'm willing to try you in the pickle. I haven't played it, but I'm
willing to put that down. I think that would be good.
I know it's a lot of hand-eye.
That is true.
Hand-eye coordination.
Because he plays a little bit of tennis, regular tennis.
Change of direction, all that good stuff. There's obviously some strategy to it.
Yep, I've played with some great pro tennis players. Sam Querrey, who I saw in Wimbledon semis a couple of years ago, and Stevie Johnson. And
how big is the court?
The court's like half a tennis court.
Okay, so you got to move a little bit.
I would love to get you guys out there.
It's hand-eye.
It's hand-eye. Obviously, the level keeps growing in the sport. They say it's the fastest growing sport in the country, but the level keeps getting better, and the athletes are getting better.
Right.
But it is still a game that I feel like I can do shit that like I dreamt of doing as a kid on a tennis court, you know. So.
Good workout, I'm sure.
Good workout, especially for my age. So.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's the same age.
I looked better like a month ago. Just falling apart.
I just got old in a month.
They made me take off. I had a leather jacket. They made me take off for sound, but I was covering my gut a little bit.
I just get on
We'll blur you out.
This plant fuel nutritional supplement plan, man. I'm telling you.
Is you have a product or what?
Yeah, plant fuel.
I keep thinking about going vegan.
I'm not totally vegan,
I'm half
but it
vegan.
can be a part of getting you where you need to be.
Yeah.
Like everybody thinks, oh, you've gone vegan. No, I'm not. No, I love meat.
Yeah.
Fish,
Pause.
chicken, turkey.
Pause.
I mean, yeah, you're dead. That's too. Fish, chicken, turkey.
Yeah.
And I eat very healthy salads. Try to drink a lot of water and stuff like that.
I go like 3 months of really good. I'm working out, and then all of a sudden I just collapse. And
It's traveling.
Yeah,
when you
it is.
travel, that's the hardest. That's when you get off schedule.
Yeah, that's
when
hard.
people
You
travel.
have to travel
man.
from your bed to the studio. To
No,
I
guy.
just went to Hawaii. It was my first vacation in 2 years. I haven't gone anywhere. I was
and you
really,
can't work out on your vacation in Hawaii. You know what I'm
did
saying?
nothing.
Can't
It was
eat
a
right. You can't,
disaster.
yeah.
Did you take your kids, girlfriend, wife? Oh yeah, by the way, happy anniversary. You married?
So when we got here, I don't know if you
There
heard
we
that, but
go.
yeah, I'm sadly divorced twice. I'm a two-time loser. But when I walked in, Tio, it's crazy. I never thought you guys were going to do any research. It was like, happy anniversary. I was like, I have a girlfriend for 3 years. I'm like, is it my anniversary today? So anyway.
Well, that's what I meant. Happy
Thank
3
you.
year
I'm
anniversary.
gonna have to go buy her something after this. But no, unfortunately, I'm divorced twice. But I have a good average. 18 years the first time, 90 days the second time. So I'm feeling pretty
9
good
and
about
9.
it.
Yep, you good. That's
Yeah.
the industry standard.
And I've
9
got
years.
2 kids. My son played Ari's son on the show. So
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Oh, awesome. How old is he?
he's 20 now.
No, okay.
wow.
In the business?
He's at the University of Arizona. He was
Nice.
really never
AZ.
into the business. So
Okay.
he's,
Bear down. That's what y'all say
they're
over there?
playing UCLA. I'm actually going to go.
You gonna go that
Arizona.
one? I might be at
Is
that
that this
one
weekend?
too.
In Zona.
In Zona.
Yeah,
I got a
That's
kid.
next weekend.
You know, our kid. Shout out to Stan Berryhill, right, leading the Arizona Wildcat team in catches right now.
Oh, the receiver.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
what are we saying? Your son?
No, not him. I was just talking to the camera. Our one of my coach him in high school,
coached.
Stanley
nice.
Berryhill. He's
Nice.
a dude. He's a dude, and he
Nice.
goes to AZ right now. So he's
I'm gonna
balling.
go there next weekend, see my son, and
Okay.
who was stuck in the house last year for his freshman year, which is terrible, and now he's
Yeah.
Wow,
having the
that's
time of his life. Hopefully, studying a little bit.
So you're a big time, right, producer in the business. What type of COVID-friendly movies were you sent or pitched during COVID?
COVID friend,
Yeah,
the
like,
ideas were about COVID.
Yeah, because everybody has the COVID monster and the
Yeah,
COVID.
but I think everybody wanted to do stuff that ignored COVID when they were doing, creative stuff. I think. I mean, I wasn't involved with anything. That was,
Right.
I'm trying to forget it every day. All I do is try to forget it. They keep reminding me, but I'm trying to forget it.
Right. You were stuck in the house. You didn't really do too much. You was just.
Yeah, I was stuck. I'm kind of a homebody anyway, so this was good for me. And then we started the podcast, thank God, because
That got you out the house.
Yeah, because the show that I was doing with Thierry was supposed to go in London 18 months ago, and everything got shut down, and then Ted Lasso became the biggest show on TV.
Yeah,
Which is
It can't be that bad. You're still with your girl a few years. That either made or break relationship.
I heard a lot of
That either made or
couples
broke.
living in the home didn't make it through COVID.
Yeah, my girl is. I mean, if anyone was going to leave, it was going to be her. She is a doll. I'm the pain in the ass. But there's not a lot of people that could have tolerated me in the house for 2 years. So she's been pretty awesome. But it was. It's been a tough 2 years for everybody.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. I mean, again, the coming out of COVID, right? I mean, it's still around. I get it, people. But coming out of it, do you think where the industry's going? Because again, 2010, 2011 was a whole different thing. There was no Netflix wasn't running the game. Hulu, Apple, none of that was part of it, right? But now, where's the industry headed, in your opinion?
Well, I mean, I think where it's headed is, look at us. Like, we're all doing our own shows.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to get more and more where the streamers, I don't think they're quite there yet with TV shows where, like, independent movies, people are going to go make their own shows, go sell them to Netflix, Apple, whatever. I think that's where it's going. And I think it's great because, you have guys, which is why I think also the fans, like, they like you more now because they get to know you personally. You're not just this guy with the Eagles helmet on or Cowboys or whatever. Disastrous teams you play
Can't
for.
even say it.
Niners. My girlfriend's a Niners fan, by the way. I love it. But, I think that everybody now, movies are getting cheaper. I mean, the first short film I made, the one I was talking about, that took almost a year and cost like $16,000. I could do it in an hour and a half now.
Right.
You know,
Shoot
with
it on
my
your phone.
iPhone.
Shoot it on your
and
iPhone.
it would look just as good,
I agree.
and you know, would have saved me a lot of time and money.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I mean, you guys are too young. I mean, I had film strips. My entire apartment was filled with film strips, like hanging off the ceilings and all this stuff that like iMovie can do in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that lots of talent from all over the world has a chance now to do whatever it is, whether it's podcasting, make a movie, sing, and I think it's a great thing. And I think you see, you know, CAA just bought ICM yesterday, and the middleman is less and less important, and the creators I think will win. So
Yeah, again, creating content. Like creating content, people, is the name of the game. Go out there, create your own content. Somebody will see it. If it's good, they'll like it. They can't. Don't be the person out there that's saying I'm creating content and nobody likes it and said it's all their fault.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not making good content.
absolutely.
Right? Don't be out there racing some bum for no, you know what I'm saying? Saying, well, why is nobody watching this?
No, like I said,
They were talking about this before, but Tio, someone challenged him to a race.
yeah,
I don't
exactly.
understand.
And the guy,
Is a professional athlete?
Well, he's like, we got to shoot some of this. No, you do not. No, you're not. I'm not allowing you guys to waste gas.
Camera.
I want to see what this guy looks like, because I would bet a lot of money against you in ping pong or pickleball, but I wouldn't. A foot race?
foot race, yeah.
I wouldn't even go as far as ping pong. I'm nice.
Oh, no.
Are you good? Do you
just
play
look like
ping pong
this.
too?
If you're not of Asian descent, really, you can't mess
That
with me.
is
I'll
hilarious.
beat your ass. And you can
you
tell by
can't-
my eyes I got some Asian descent to me, but I'll beat your ass in ping pong. I'll show
I
you some,
like it.
I'll
I
show
got
you some
my-
footage of beating
Hey.
Gronk's ass. And,
That's what you come
play
in with,
for
bro.
real.
you know, I
You
used to
coming at
play
me with-
very
but
seriously.
you're coming at me with Gronk.
Because he's pretty good at ping pong.
Hey,
I'm ready.
You see,
Okay,
I got
we
my
can get-
shades up now. You see, I got
he
my
got
shades
serious.
up.
He got
Really?
serious.
And you came at me with Gronk?
Look at him. He looks scared now.
Doug,
Have you played Reggie Miller?
Who is that?
Better than you.
Reggie, who is Reggie?
The NBA guy, Reggie Miller.
He knows. He
man,
knows.
I
So you don't know.
Did you guys watch that doc, by the way?
Malice in the Palace. We just had Ron Artest on, actually.
So did we.
Oh, there you go.
You can't call him Ron
we
Artest.
had-
I'm sorry, Meta
Meta Sanderford.
Sandiford
Meta was
Artest.
by the way, Meta was awesome, and I did
Yeah,
his
that's the
podcast.
homie.
He was great. So, you know, and I was a big St. John's fan growing up. So that's why I say it's all the same shit. Like I get to live out these kind of fantasies and hang out with guys like you and get Tio to really, it's really
You see
scary
that,
shit
dog?
right there.
You see that, dog? You see that?
No,
You see
Really
that
putting the
reflex,
fear
dog?
of God in me right now.
No,
I like your confidence with this
see
ping
that
pong.
reflex?
You know
dog.
what? Like I say, that's why stand-up comedy, the confidence wasn't there because my craft wasn't there. But-
Right,
And
there's a
again,
difference.
all my pickleball friends, because I play with like the best in the world, they'll laugh at me that I'm talking about I'm good. But when you remove the best in the
Of
world,
course,
guys,
you're good for the
I'm
mortals.
I'm really good for
Yeah.
the rest of the universe, you know?
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I'm taking Dougie. I'm
Yeah.
taking Dougie over you,
You've
buddy.
taken-
I know I have.
You've
I've been
taken the
against him
opposition a number
before,
of
and
times.
I've
You've
lost.
against me.
So don't
I'm
don't
good
let
at
me
taking-
down.
I'm gonna send you some footage.
I don't even want.
you
Don't
know?
even send me the
Yeah.
footage.
Although pickleball is really what I play now, but ping pong, especially when
both.
we were shooting the show, I played like a lot. And you know,
pickleball,
I'm gonna send you Su Yen to teach you a little bit too before we get going. 'Cause I don't want it to be too bad because I've had this before, including like one of my best friends, Rob Stone. We just used to go at it and
Right.
at it, and I excelled to a level. Scott Venner also did all the music for Entourage.
hear.
You know, what'd you say?
That's what I want to hear
Yeah.
because in ping pong he ain't been beat in a long time.
Yeah.
And so I need somebody to come in here and humble. And the pickleball, I'm putting money down on pickleball.
Pickleball, he'll be humiliated. Ping
Yeah.
pong, I just need a couple of weeks.
What's
and
up?
I think it'll still get
What's
bad.
up? 1K?
Yeah.
1K.
I'm just.
What do you go to on pickleball? What's the score to?
11.
11?
Yeah. How do you play? What's your scoring in ping pong?
21.
Oh gosh.
You know, is that
Amateur.
Yeah, he's
That's
an
like
amateur.
the 70s when
He's
they
an
played that.
amateur.
I just give people a chance to win. That's
I
all it
understand.
is.
You give him
understand.
19 and play the
Yeah,
21.
give him a chance to win. You know what I mean? I don't want to destroy him right away. Then I'm left playing by myself.
I actually went to Hawaii. That was the first time I played ping pong in probably 3 years with the guys I do the podcast with. We were just in Hawaii, and Kevin Dillon was like, "Yeah, I'm playing a while. Let's play." Kevin Dillon who played Johnny Drama. I think it was 21-6, I think, and that was only because he wanted to score at 21. It's an 11 point.
It's an 11-point game. He don't know. Amateur. So again, you like working out with like playing with athletes, like working out, working some business deal with athletes as well, right? There was a situation between you and Richard Sherman that happened some years ago, where he never showed, or you never showed, or whoever's story, right? Because you showed.
And I don't even want, look, I don't want to get into it. A lot of us have now.
Have you talked to him since? Have you ever?
No, he tweeted
never
some
ran into
shit.
him.
And again, look, Richard Sherman will beat the living out of me.
Right, yeah, it's not about fighting, nothing like that.
This is news to
Do
me.
you have Richard's number?
So
No, yeah, I know, but this is surprising to me. That doesn't seem like anything that
Richard would do?
Richard would do. It just seems
No beef.
It was such a weird story. Russell Wilson used to be a pretty good friend of mine, and the Super Bowl Seahawks just won, and his agent called me, said, Richard Sherman wants to have lunch with you. I'm like, great. And I actually called Jeremy Piven. I'm like, yo, you want to come? Because I wanted to bring I'm like, maybe,
have fun.
Richard likes the show. He'll like it. Right. And we were supposed to go to the Ivy on Robertson, which is literally 7 minutes from my house. But he was staying in Santa Monica. I said, you know what, Richard, I'm going to make it easy for you. I'll come pick you up. We'll go to the Ivy.
There you go.
By him.
Yep.
So our 1 o'clock reservation was at the place on Robertson. I now drove 35 minutes to his hotel. I swear to God.
Yeah.
I pulled into his hotel at 1:02 for a 1 o'clock lunch.
Right.
His agent calls me and says, Richard doesn't like tardiness or something like that. And I'm with Jeremy, Jeremy and I have been in a car together maybe 4 times in my life. I was bringing the star power, so I wasn't like a loser. And then I'm like, what a
Right.
And then he tweets, nothing worse than wasted time or something like
so
this.
So Richard tweeted, not the agent.
No, Richard tweeted. Now, he didn't say my name, and I wrote something back like, self.
You wrote that back on Twitter.
Something like that. Something along the lines that I wasn't ready to back up physically, I was just like, what kind of human is this? Now again, we're in this world, Malice at the Palace, Meta, mental health, and we know Richard just got arrested and stuff. So I don't want to harp on people because a lot of people do have issues. They just do. But what he did was insane. Right. I mean, really.
Maybe it was 1 o'clock New York time or something. Maybe in his mind you were 3 hours late.
I don't know what could have possibly happened. But the one thing I learned, because you guys asked about agents, the real guys that I've dealt with who are great, it's not agents. Like Tom Brady,
I don't have to go through.
Email me and I'll be there.
Yes.
David Deal, email me, I'll be there. But
because that's a real relationship.
Yeah, and Richard, it was
just text me.
I'm texting you.
Yeah, you got to text. He
text. No, by the way, I don't email either. So text. But so I mean, but that's that's when you go and you're not really getting what you need. So I should have known from when it was an agent calling me. And I kind of said I love Richard, have him call me.
Have him call and text me.
But he didn't. So it turned into a whole thing. Anyway, it was a weird waste of time. And I've dealt with, Mike Tyson and I made a show together that, didn't end up going at HBO, but John Ridley wrote it and Spike Lee directed it, the pilot, and fortunately it didn't go. So I've done a lot of stuff with athletes. Baron Davis and I sold several shows together.
Wow.
None of them have gone, but one's still actually alive at the moment. We'll see what happens. Yeah. But so I do. I like athletes because they are working at the highest level, and they've gotten to the highest level of what's something that everybody wants to do. So, I appreciate that.
Well, we can go a long way here because I'm an athlete.
I know that. I know that.
I'm the only athlete on the show right
now.
So,
wow.
That is true.
So you get it. So we can go far.
Wait. What did you just say? He just said that is true. I mean, no, he's not. I'm the best athlete on the show.
I didn't say the best. I said
don't think I didn't hear that, Dougie.
I just said I wasn't an athlete as sad as that is, I always think there's 100,000 athletes that are better than me on the whole planet that you got to get rid of all of them, and then I could have been
and you slide in there a little bit.
Maybe I don't
That's
know
funny.
Whatever the number is. So.
No, again, we talk about this a lot on the show about, again, athletes. We want to do other things, right? We say all the entertainers want to be athletes, all athletes want to be entertainers. But again, in 2021 and really 5 years ago, right, it's really intertwined.
Yeah.
Right? It's
not the reverse. We don't get to be athletes. That's what sucks. You guys now get to take over announcing, podcasting, acting, but we can't.
But it goes back to the
reverse,
same. It's the same character. Like, for example, if you want to work with somebody right now, right? What's one of the qualities you look for in that person?
At this point in my life, I want to work with people that I enjoy being around. There's too many pains in the asses, and there's too much drama. So I try, and it doesn't mean it happens, but I try to work with people that I enjoy working with.
So what about those people that have the body, the face, possibly the charisma to be on screen? What does it take to get them on screen? And sometimes, like I said, it's not about what you know, it's kind of like who you know as well.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, or you did earlier, talent rises, and if you go out there and you show people what you have, again, to be honest, if I had T.O.'s body, I'd be the biggest movie star in the world. I mean, but you got to show people what you can do. Create some
Hollywood.
Create some content, and people will look at it. And that's. I mean, The Rock's the biggest movie star in the world. He was a wrestler, or a football player before that.
I've been trying to tell. We briefly talked about this, over the pandemic, like just creating content to promote our show. Just like I've watched so many commercials and stuff, for example, the Chris Paul State Farm commercial, stuff that they do. I've watched the Old Spice commercials. Sometimes I think me and him, we could recreate some of those to be funny.
Or do our own stuff.
Just take use that as a blueprint to kind of promote.
But I think I honestly think that's just what it is. And look, I've been trying for a year. It's tough. I've been behind the scenes my whole life. I'm trying to get this, these podcasts out there. I'm trying to grind and let people know about them. And, I post whatever, little things of what I think about the world, whether anyone finds them interesting or not. But I think that everybody's got to find what their skills are and then show people. And you have a big platform, so there's no excuses.
Platform,
there's no excuses.
Big forehead.
Yeah. I love that title.
Exactly. Big platform, big forehead.
By the way, he really does look like Will Smith. I mean, he really does.
Will looks like me. Let's get it right. Get it right. Yes, Will looks like me. You know what's funny? I've gotten that so much here in LA.
You have not.
Why are you a hater? Why are you a hater?
I'm not. First of all, I'm not hating.
You're hating.
Don't take that comment and run with it.
Can I tell you? I don't want to be insulted. I put myself out there. I'm already going to get some shit from your audience going, yeah, this guy thinks he's an athlete. I get it. But I said on our podcast, we have the same conversations because people used to tell me, some people, that I looked like Val Kilmer. So I fucking said it on the podcast, and my guy's like, are you out of your mind?
Don't take that away from me. I look like Val.
But I put it to a vote on Instagram, though, and I got 39%.
That's high. That's a high percent.
I'll take it.
Okay, that's the next thing. So we're going to get a picture, put me and Will beside each other, and I guarantee it's going to be
you get the
and
vote.
The title is Who Wore the Forehead the Best?
And then I'm going to put a picture of T and a lizard beside each other, and I guarantee that's going to be 100%.
No, I'm
you all look
who's
just
the
alike.
fastest?
I used to be the fastest. I'm not the fastest.
The lizard.
Oh, no. Geico?
Yeah.
Were you faster than him at the top?
Oh, yeah. I was a 4.3 coming out.
I probably, I didn't know this. This is what,
why would you know?
I've only heard.
Well, that's what how else would you hear?
I've only heard that he was fast.
On camera,
you don't
on
necessarily
film,
have to be blazing.
Watching film.
Right, but you don't have to be blazing to beat a defensive back on a go route. You don't have to be blazing
No,
fast.
I could beat him on a go route or a comeback.
Right, exactly. So
you guys are so blessed.
I mean,
I'm like a 7'6", 40,
You know what? Now, today, because of my hip, I might be slower than you. I really might be slower than him.
But the thing is, Doug, I don't even know how his hip got hurt. He barely even played.
Whoa.
So how is his
That's a wrap, people. We're out. We're out. Cancel the show. We're never going to do this show ever again just because he just went over the line.
Is it because he was doing this? Why were you doing this?
But see, we had the same career. We had the same career. It just so happens that Randy Moss was a Hall of Famer and J.J. Stokes was not. Because if J.J. would have ended up going to the Hall of Fame, he was the best receiver ever, T.O. would have never been on the field. He wouldn't have been on the field. Because you were the number 3 and I was the number 3. I had Chris Carter, Randy Moss, and then I had Jake Reed, actually. I was the 4.
So you just telling me God just didn't bless me?
He blessed me? What you mean? Doing this. I got this too.
By the way, nobody kid yourself. It's all God blessings. And I'm not even religious. But I mean, honestly, if I had any speed, if I could jump at all, but I'm still going to kill him in pickleball.
I agree. I still got Doug in pickleball. 1K.
Doug, you can jump. You can jump at this opportunity right now and put me in a movie, man.
I don't have a
He
movie.
ain't doing
but
a movie.
I'm trying to
The
talk him
future,
into
the
it.
future.
If we
Just say anything.
I'm speaking it
if we
into
reboot
existence.
Entourage, we'll put both you guys in it.
No.
Well, you want to be alone?
Ballet guy.
I'll throw you under the bus.
I'm away.
Valet guy for sure. I'm driving up.
I'll kill a valet guy.
I'm driving
I'll
up.
kill the valet
Like,
guy. I'll be the cleanest valet guy you have.
I'm driving up in a Lamborghini and everything.
And I'll take your little raggedy car. I'll take your little rusty Lamborghini.
I wouldn't say a top hat. The top hat will be off the screen with that head. I'm just saying.
I ain't giving you no doubt.
This is so similar to how our podcast is, except do you guys actually fight ever or no? I don't mean
No, I
physically,
would
but
beat T's ass.
With that hip, bro. I mean,
I wouldn't hip toss you. I tell you that much.
that's for sure. No, all I got to do is hip toss him and he's done.
Oh gosh, but no, yeah, we have fun. Like
Yeah,
you know,
man.
people, it's been 20 plus years. You know, we go way back, but for the most part, us being out here in LA and trying to transition, if you will, still, because we're still transitioning every single day. It's like we just have that in common. And what we found out, especially through this podcast, is everybody's transitioning through everything, right? You transition comedy, Fat Beach and Entourage, you're still transitioning because you're still hustling, you're still doing your thing. And that's what we enjoy. This not just being about football, right? It's about, we want to hear the transitions, what you went through in life, because that makes it, brings it home to our
and it all leads to something. I mean, like these live podcasts we're doing, the stand-up that I did 30 years ago, it helps. And, you know, the anxiety is not there with that because I got 2 other guys on the stage. And I'm not just there with a mic and a light. So, but it all led to something. So.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and then I think for this environment, and you know, people get to tell their side.
Their story, yeah.
Not really their side, but just tell a story. You know what I mean? I've had, you know, a number of people have come on, and obviously the perception for me, you know, outside of these podcasts, that, you know, I was arrogant, I was cocky, you know, I was an asshole, this and that and the other. I was a team, you know, just obliterator, you know. But there's
Team obliterator.
Right, exactly. I mean, this is Skip Bayless. I mean, there's
He's
so
still
many things
focused
that,
on Skip.
Right, there's so many things that have been said about me that really have just really kind of demeaned my character or what have you. And so just to have people that have come on and really have been around me, not even just athletes, but just know me on a personal level, has been refreshing. But I think had we had this type of platform,
It would be completely
10
different
years
world.
ago,
years
completely
back,
different world.
then I would have been able to really dispel a number of those things. And
Well, I
so-
think that's what's great for everybody. For the athletes who can talk, they don't need the media to slant it how they want. They can get their word
Right,
out. It's
exactly.
it's amazing, and it's interesting to see where that is all going to go in the future. But
And
for
I-
me, same thing.
And I think it gives the audience and really fans that have been watching and listening to media for so many years to now understand, like, everything that they say, it isn't gospel. You know what I mean? It isn't the truth.
Right.
The media has their angles, and now these athletes are taking the power of their voice into their own hands. And obviously, like I said, it's quieting down, you know, a lot of these analysts and commentators.
For
that are
sure.
out there.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. You know, it was like when Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns were on, they were like, can you imagine we were fighting today, where we would be and what it would do? So,
Right, exactly.
you know, but we all got to take advantage of it to the best
I
of
know,
our
it's
abilities.
so
you know?
funny. We're doing podcasts and all these things that have just come through the pipeline. We've had TikTok. It's like almost like, what's next?
What is
I
next?
have no
It's
idea.
like,
I want to invest in it, whatever it is.
Like, it's
if I can
crazy to
catch
think
it.
now. It's like, what is next? What is the next big
Yeah,
thing?
I mean, I was really good on Entourage. We had so many things that we did that came
Launched,
true. I mean,
yeah.
everything.
I mean, even just
even the
from-
Rams, like, you know, I mean, we did all of that stuff on the show. And but now I don't know what's next with the technology. It's
I
so
know, just-
crazy and changing so
Right,
fast.
just think with
fast.
The technology, how the phones have changed. I mean, we've gone from flip phones to, you know, Blackberries. I mean, now with the cars, you know, we've gone from keyless starting. I mean, now cars are about to start driving themselves.
Yeah.
There it is.
Like, it's amazing.
We don't know what's next, but Dougie, we appreciate you coming on, man.
Thanks
Taking
for
the
having me,
time,
man.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. Absolutely. It's fun.
Y'all
We'll see-
check them
we'll
out.
see you at the
Hollywood
Reboot.
Ways and
Hollywood Ways with Breezy. You should bring her on here. She's great.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Victory the
she's
podcast.
Coop on All American.
Yep.
There it is. Thanks, man. I
Thanks.
appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate
Get your
you. Thanks,
Popcorn
guys.
Ready podcast with Doug Ellin. Peace.
Hey, and there you have it, man. We just had a great conversation with My guy. Yeah, he's my guy.
Now he's your man.
My guy.
An hour ago, he didn't know who he was on the planet. Now that's your man's.
Hey, well, we got quickly acquainted with each other.
Okay.
But yeah, my
okay.
guy, Doug Ellin, your friend. Great conversation. I mean, I learned a lot about this guy.
Yeah.
I hope you don't take any blueprint or map of what he did to get his career off the ground, as I mentioned in the show about doing
The comedy first? You don't think? Don't do that?
Don't do that. But no, I enjoy, honestly, we're the host of the show, and I felt like I was at a movie, like I was at the show, just listening.
Being
to
entertained.
Yeah.
Were
Always.
you not entertained, people? That's all we want you to be. Entertained on Get Your Popcorn Ready. This is what we do. Again, we're not just talking sports on here. We're talking to athletes, entertainers, producers, directors, writers, right? People who have a story, right? They went through things. They got to the top of their industry, of their business, and they came from nothing, and they're still transitioning through life.
Yep. And I like this. Stay tuned. Fubo TV, Fubo Sports. Share, like, comment on what you like, the guests that we have. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys tuning in every week. Get your popcorn ready.
Yeah, and you know what?
I got mine.
You know what's funny? I was last Saturday. I think I was in Cheesecake Factory or something, right? And I clicked Fubo TV. I just hit a button, right? It came up the screen. Then there's a bunch of games. I hit the button for the game, and it came right on. It's the simplest app I've been on to stream a game.
So you're saying very user-friendly.
Very user-friendly. And I'm not, y'all know out there, I'm not the user-friendly tech guy.
They don't
right?
know, but now they do. Let me tell you, he is not
that
tech
guy.
savvy at all.
But Fubo TV made it very easy and very timely for me. Pretty much maybe 3 seconds, I was watching the game. And it came right up, boom, 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 and I watched the game while I was sitting there at the Cheesecake Factory.
That says a lot for a guy that doesn't even know how to really post on social media. He doesn't even know how to do the swipe up feature
What's
on
social
stories.
media? What's that thing? The way you swipe. You're doing the swipe. You swipe right, you swipe down. I don't get it.
Enough of that. Get your popcorn ready on Fubo TV Sports. Hey, right here, lock it in. Share, comment, like, because we love you.
GP Aura.
Yeah.